Welcome back, everybody. It's Jared and Bob. It's Sarcasm Speaks. We are in the middle of watching both guys actually not want to win the Genesis Open. This is going to come out Thursdays, right? Yeah. I almost said Wednesday.
I forgot we have one in the holster.
Yeah. So by the time this comes out, you guys will definitely have known who wins the Genesis Open. But the first playoff hole was an absolute just debacle. Neither guy wanted to win. So Finau makes a great shot off the tee, puts it, just off the left of the green. Max Homa hits his tee shot literally up against a tree, manages to hit a beautiful shot somehow, and give himself an 8-foot putt. And then
Homa probably had about 8 feet. But Finau hit it, so his chip ran probably 6 feet by, or Homa maybe had closer to like 11.
Yeah.
And Finau had probably like 7 come back.
And then, so Homa missed his putt after a great save.
I would say Max Homa leaving that hole with par was
unbelievable.
Fucking phenomenal.
And then Finau just has to hit the putt to win for birdie, and he fucking misses it. He left it.
It was a lame attempt. That was my biggest thing is, that's a 50-50 putt, but it was just a fucking lame attempt. Like, it never had a chance. I also don't know how close he just hit it.
Yeah.
I don't think he hit it very close because he short-sided himself in the bunker.
This is on their second
playoff hole. He fucking bad place to be. And Max Homa hit it to like 10 feet after missing a 3.5-footer to even be in this position.
Yeah.
I mean, I can miss 3.5-footers with the best of them, but...
Same. I'm pretty good at it.
Actually, the only thing is mine probably wouldn't have lipped out. It probably wouldn't have hit the hole.
Yeah, I just would have blew it past.
Yeah, have a longer putt coming back.
I was just going to say, give myself a 5-footer coming back.
Well, Finau is inside of Max Homa right now. And the funny thing about Max Homa is... So he's pretty good. He's young.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's hard to break through on the PGA Tour, but he was good in college. He may have won some award in college. I remember he was pretty good because he was on a decent Cal team.
Yeah.
But so now he does pretty well with social media, and like one of the things he does is it's like roast my swing. So people send him pictures and he just fucking shits all over it. Or I sends a video of your swing and he just shits all over it.
Yeah. It tells you how much you suck at golf.
But something else that happens is I think it started as a joke. Like when he didn't play well, people were like, "Dude, I had you on like my fantasy team, like my fantasy lineup, because you didn't perform." Putting. Not going to go in. He's in for par. Finau has to hit to extend. So then I think now it's become like a running joke. Like every time he doesn't play well, everybody goes on there and like, dude, what about my fantasy lineup? Like, you're not helping my daily fantasy. So I mean, he's pretty good about interacting with everybody. So it's not a bad guy to have winning some tournaments.
Right.
And he's young-ish. I mean,
spike that.
Just fucking throw that.
Spike that phone right off the ground.
I don't know how old he is, but he is younger.
Yeah. Now if Finau wins, we're gonna have to hear all the.
Well, everyone knows my thing with Finau, and I'll have to hear it. It's because Tony Finau, everyone picks him for everything.
Yeah.
And he's a good player, but he is not gonna hit this putt. That's for sure. Which means he's not going to win again.
Right.
You fucking loser. You fucking bum. Fuck you, Tony Finau, you Mormon-Tongan fuck. Fuck you, you fucker. You suck so bad. All the time I have to hear about Tony fucking Finau. Oh, my Masters pick this year, Tony Finau. It's like, in the majors, Tony Finau. Whoa, look at Tony Finau. Tony Finau doesn't fucking win.
No.
And it's not because of a lack of talent. He's plenty talented enough. Hits the ball plenty far. He sucks at putting, but for PGA Tour standards. He's better than me. As he fucking should. Tony Finau has won one event, and it was 5 years ago. If he doesn't win in the next month, it'll be about 5 years to the day
Yeah.
that he has won. And that event was the Puerto Rico Open, which is an opposite field event.
Right.
So I think when all the real players are in the match play,
Right.
I think it's opposite to the match play.
Okay.
The bums go to Puerto Rico. And that was a playoff. He hasn't won a fucking regulation event. He won the Puerto Rico Open 5 years ago.
In a playoff.
In a playoff.
Yeah.
Now, what people like to then tell me. Well, he's making money out there. Yeah, he is. A lot of guys are making money out there.
Yeah.
I don't have to like the guy because he makes money out there.
Right.
I don't have to say he's good because he makes money out there.
Yeah. Well, he's always hanging around.
Yes, he is. He's always hanging around.
Yeah, so is Rico.
Ricky Fowler has quintuple the amount of wins on the PGA Tour as Tony Finau.
That is correct.
And he never wins.
Yeah.
Two of my guys.
Yep.
And I think that since Tony Finau has won, Bryson has won all of his events, all 6 or 7 or whatever, however many wins he has, including a major. Mm-hmm. Max Homa has 2 wins. Jim Herman, I think, has won twice. Vaughn Taylor has a win. Ted Potter Jr. has a win.
Hovland? Has he
Victor
won?
Hovland has 2 wins.
Yeah.
Goofy events, though, so he doesn't get
Yeah.
quite credit yet.
Yeah.
Because I think he won Mayakoba, and then I think he also won... Fuck. It was a goofy event.
Yeah. And then-
Legitimate wins.
So I know he's also fucking nasty, but in the same amount of time, JT probably has won 11
Like,
times.
yeah, 11, 12.
11 events.
Yeah, Koepka's won 4 majors.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, Tony Finau.
No, enough Tony Finau. He's not good. And anyone that bets on this guy, if you are a fucking idiot if you're not taking him top 5, top 20.
I was gonna say the bet is top 10.
You're probably a fucking rich man taking him top 5 because he's
Yeah.
got second, I think. And they're probably interviewing him right now. Ah, fuck, I wish I could hear this. I wish I could fucking hear this right now.
Yeah.
Because after Torrey Pines, I think, he put up a good 4th round, but he was just too far back.
Yeah.
And he said something like, it was like the least confident thing I have ever heard. It was fuck, I am trying to remember. But if I was Tony Finau,
Yeah.
the way I would say it is, hey man, hey, I'm out here. Like you guys, like obviously, like, you know, I'm hitting the ball well.
Right.
I'm playing well. I'm close. Like I'm really close. Like my time is coming. Like this is what I would be saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like like listen, I am right here,
Right.
and I am close.
One of these times, I'm gonna get a couple putts to go.
And it's like, you know, I'm gonna break through soon.
Right. Right.
He gets up there and is like, yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know what I don't know why it hasn't worked out for me. Or it's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like what? Lie.
Yeah.
Lie.
You're a professional athlete, and you're good. Like you're on the PGA Tour, and you're always hanging around.
That's the thing is,
But, like-
you have won a shitload of money. The
Right.
fucking argument for all
Like,
the
have some
arguments
fucking-
are true.
Have some fucking confidence and be like, or at least be like, yeah, man, I don't know what it is. Like or on the day where he shot well in the 4th round, be like, you know what, I played really well today. I'm proud of how I put it together, but I just, you know, I put myself in too much of a hole the previous 3 days, and I one day can't make up for those 3. You know what I mean? Like something along those lines where you find the good in it, where you're like, I played really well today. It just wasn't good enough.
So I was listening to the Chasing Scratch podcast, which is golf, and I like it. They do it in seasons, so right now they're on hiatus. But I caught up because I'd never listened to them until around the holidays. Mm-hmm. So they had a sports psychologist on. They call him Dr. J. I don't remember his last name.
Oh,
so
it's not Matessi. Good old Mark Matessi.
Did he wear lip gloss, you think? I could see him wearing lip gloss.
I could probably see him wearing that. Did you know he went to Michigan?
In West Virginia?
Yeah.
Because Rich Rod ruined his 2 alma maters?
Yeah.
So Dr. J was I cannot I wish I could plug the guy's name. I don't know, but go to Chasing Scratch. There's a bonus episode with Dr. Jason something. And one of the things that he said was like psychologically, and I don't know shit about sports psych, so I'll just go off of what these people say. There is power in confidence.
Yeah.
So he was having them do like identity statements or something.
Yeah.
And it was like, I am Mike. I am going to be a scratch golfer. I'm going to stay present in the moment. And I'm going to stick to my routine on short putts and, swings down the stretch or something. It's like, because then one of the guys was like, and I will not, basically, like, he was like, and I will not lose it going down the stretch. He goes, no, that's not what you say. Yeah. That's not what you say, because you've spoke losing it into existence. You
don't use like that.
Yeah, you're not gonna. You don't say I'm not gonna tense up over short putt, like whatever.
Right.
They go. He goes, have you ever noticed Tiger Woods? Tiger Woods is the best at this.
Right.
Tiger Woods will go out there, not hit a fairway, not hit a fucking green, miss the fucking cut, and be like, I'm close, man. Like I'm there. I'm almost there. I feel good.
Yeah. He's like, I had things going really well today. I just, a couple things didn't go my way, and
it's like,
it is
hey,
what it is.
My ball striking was really, really good today. I'm close. It's just, I needed to hit a couple more putts.
Yeah.
Shot 75.
That's literally Tiger. That's like,
it's a master class in what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Especially when you are trying to do these things. It shows, and again, I'm not trying to break him down psychologically. So I'm not going to say that, oh, he's a mental midget or his psychology sucks. It's like, I don't think he's saying the right things, and I don't think that's outside my realm to say. I don't feel like he's saying the right things. And I really wish I could have heard that post round interview. Maybe I can catch it later. I bet you it was lame.
It was defeated.
Or he looked defeated.
He has a defeated mentality.
And so the TV's on mute, so he looks defeated.
Yeah.
I would love to know what he would say, because someone's got to coach him up and just say, dude, he's finished second.
Right.
At Torrey Pines, 2 DJ in the fucking Middle East.
Yep.
And then at Riviera.
Yeah.
This is legit golf right now.
Right.
He is fucking close.
To go
he probably is gonna break through.
Yeah.
He just needs to find the right event, or the putts need to fall for him, or something. Weather. Get a soft golf course, and all of a sudden he can fucking make it happen. Like he's close.
Right.
I actually, if I was a gambling man, I would look to taking him top 10 in the Masters, top 5 in the Masters.
Yeah.
Couple bucks. It's gonna pay well.
Right.
I mean, the odds probably just fucking tanked a little bit with him playing with yet another second finish.
Right.
But it might be far enough off where get this guy in his finishes.
Right.
He will be around. He'll be there.
Yeah.
He's good enough to. He just can't fucking win.
Yeah.
So that's what I fucking crush him for.
Yeah, no, that's legit. I mean, it sounds a little bit like, without getting too heavy in psychology, it sounds a little bit like the Dr. J uses CBT. It's cognitive behavioral therapy. It has to do with, like, people have certain core beliefs about themselves, and then the people that struggle with depression and anxiety, when you boil it down, you have a core belief about yourself that, like, I am bad, or like I am not good enough. Like, that is, everyone has like a certain amount of core beliefs, and then if you have a belief about yourself that you are not good enough, then that's going to permeate through your entire life. So the way cognitive behavioral therapy works is you work to like break those down and challenge it.
Yeah, and the only reason I can be the cunt that sits in front of this camera is because I tell myself it all the time. I got you. I'm following along.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm following along.
It is. But it is like there have been so many studies, even on posture. I mean, I've spent hours upon hours researching all that shit of like how you stand affects your hormone balance. Like how, like you, whether you stand, like if you're watching on YouTube, which by the way, sorry about that last episode on YouTube. I don't know what happened. We just had a corrupted.
Well, the file got corrupted.
Yeah, we had a file.
We don't know how.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Yeah, that's fair. But I don't know how it happened.
We should argue semantics for the next hour.
Yeah, that's great listening. But yeah, hopefully this video works to get up on YouTube. But like, so if you're watching, like standing like this, like with your arms out, like hands on your side, actually boosts testosterone production. And then sitting with your arms crossed and kind of like slouched over, I think increases cortisol, I believe, which is a stress hormone. So there's like, there is something to that. And it like, because people say, you get into this bullshit like Tony Robbins stuff, which I think he's great when it comes to financial stuff, but when it comes to his whole motivation thing, it's whatever. But I think he's the one that says like, speak it and it will become, or something along those lines. And it's like, as cheesy as that is, like that is actually kind of true. Like if you tell yourself that you're really good at something, eventually like, not only you're going to believe it, but you'll probably get better at it too.
Yeah, and there is a realistic aspect to it.
Right.
Like, you can't say...
Like, I can't sit here every day and say, well, I'm going to make the PGA Tour. Like, that's...
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But you can will it into existence. Like, if I go, like, you know, I don't see why I can't be a 10 handicap. I'm going to get to a 10.
I would... Yeah, I would...
And eventually I would get there. Like, I just have to keep telling myself.
I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
Well, it's the same shit like I used to do in the gym. Like, because that is an actual application where when I was younger, I was like, yeah, I'm going to squat 400 fucking pounds. Why not? Why can't I? Of course I'm going to squat 400 pounds. And then eventually I hit 420, I think, for a double when I was 23 or 24 years, however old I was. But it's one of those things where it's like, you just keep telling yourself that you're going to do it, and eventually it just happens. Like that positive self-talk shit, like you just said, as long as it's reasonable and it's within somewhat of striking distance, it's going to happen. But if you keep telling yourself like, no, I can't pull that off. Nah, I'm not good enough. No, I'm not going to do that. Well, yeah, no shit, you're never going to fucking get there. You have to start telling yourself that you are good enough and you are going to fucking pull it off.
Something else that he said, especially in golf, is looking at the horizon. It's supposed to be good for confidence and things like that. Because I fucking stare at the ground.
Yeah.
And then while I'm out there, too, it's like I fall into all the fucking psychological traps that happen.
Yeah.
Because it's like when things aren't going well psychologically, I'm a disaster.
Yeah.
When things are going well psychologically, I'm good. And it's like crazy because my psychology follows my play, not the opposite.
Right.
It's like when I was playing in the Mid-Am qualifier that I won. Look it up. And I'm on might be the 12th hole at Sandwich Hollows. It was 7-iron off the tee, and it's a wedge into the green. It's really short, really narrow. It's a fucking dumb hole. So I hit my 7-iron out. I'm dead center, and I have a lie because I hit 6-iron in the practice round, and I had a downhill lie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck this. I did it. Like, did the hard part.
Right.
And Tom's like, all right, nice and easy. The guy caddying for me goes, just take it easy. You know, you do you. I go, Tom, I'm gonna throw this in there fucking tight. He goes, yeah, just, you know, you stick to your game. Like, you know, your shot. But I go, yeah, my shot is I'm gonna hit this fucking close. Yeah. I hit it good.
Yeah.
A little long.
Yeah.
Buried the 20-foot putt though.
Yeah.
Birdie. On to the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It is a real thing. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, then you will obviously believe that, and then it will permeate the rest of your life, and it will show in every aspect that you do. It's just it's a real thing.
Yeah, and it's like I do think sometimes some of the psychology people really, really diminish how hard some of the shit that some people deal with is.
Right.
So it's just like, just positive talk with yourself.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not that fucking easy.
Right.
Especially like if you're actually depressed and you can't even get out of your bed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really fucking hard when you lay in bed and go, I can't get up.
Right.
To then turn around and go, oh yeah, no, everything's actually good.
Like, yeah. That just reminds me of the meme that's Timon and Pumbaa with like a little Simba, and it's like, oh, dude, your dad just got murdered by a bunch of like elk or whatever. Dude, don't fucking worry about it. No worries, man. Yeah. Everything's good.
It's like you gotta like some of that stuff. Like it takes a real approach. Like it takes a real approach to get someone out of real issues.
Right.
But if you're just like me, where it's like golf's getting kind of tough for me right now, like in a stretch, Yeah, I could probably talk myself out of some of that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's because I'm not dealing with real issues.
Correct.
Just, being a
self-inflicted.
being a fucking huge douchebag.
But I would say that
not self-inflicted. The ball isn't going where I want it to go.
Yeah, yeah. I would say most people's problems are.
Yeah, they're not real problems, Charlie.
Mostly self-inflicted.
It's
Yeah.
eating cat food and too much glue.
Yeah. But how else am I supposed to fall asleep?
I love that sequence of Always Sunny.
Yeah.
I chug a beer, huff a bunch of glue, and eat a can of cat food. And somehow the mixture of everything just makes you like really sick that all you want to do is go to bed. Why do you want to make yourself sick so you go to bed? Because there's going to be about 500 cats meowing out there. It's like, maybe you wouldn't have so many cats if there wasn't cat food everywhere. Well, I have 500 cats meowing out the window because there's 5,000 rats in the building.
Oh man,
I love that sequence.
Yeah, that is great. That's probably one of my favorite shows of all time too.
Congratulations, D. You just experienced a glue overdose. Those are pretty regular in my life.
These are not real problems, Charlie.
These aren't real problems.
Oh man, that is such a great show. Wow, we went from golf and Tony Finau to psychology, and then capped it with Always Sunny.
Okay. That was actually a pretty linear...
Yeah, no, I know.
Because we're talking about Tony Finau and he can't win. He's fucking plenty good enough to win.
Right.
There are guys out... Max Homa is not as talented as Tony Finau.
No.
And Max Homa, I wouldn't say is, a real fucking prime tiger, like, just gonna hunt dudes down and out-tough them.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with this, but he cried after the round. After winning at Riviera. Got it. No problem. Don't let me tell you how to celebrate a PGA Tour win in your hometown, basically in his hometown.
Yeah, he is from that area.
Do it how you want to do it. But Tiger was sitting there, and the only time he cried was after his father fucking died.
Right.
So,
yeah.
We're talking about Tiger, though.
Yeah.
No one's like Tiger.
Yeah.
And no one ever will be.
Did he cry after he won the Masters last year? I guess technically 2 years ago at this point.
I guess maybe after the Tour Championship.
There was one of them.
Did he cry with his son in his arms?
Yes, I was just going to say there was one of them where his son ran to give him a hug, and they had the side-by-side picture. They were in the exact same spot on the course. Where Tiger was hugging his dad and Tiger was hugging his son.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. It just gave me a little bit of goosebumps just talking about it.
Oh, can I shit on it for a second then?
Yeah.
That's where everyone celebrates.
Yeah.
That is the exit. That's the exit.
It's the exit ramp on the 18th hole.
Listen, it does make for a great side-by-side. It really does.
Right.
But it's not like there was any other option.
You can take every picture from every winner of every year, and it's going to be in that spot.
Especially with a family member, because a family member is typically where his family was.
Right.
Typically.
Right.
That's where Paulina met DJ.
I was just going to say that's the same spot where Paulina ran up to DJ, too. So
it's the same spot.
Yep.
Especially at the same golf course where they play every year. That's so regimented as the Masters is.
Right.
The routing over there
Yeah.
is probably fucking staked into the ground.
Yeah, like those guys, guys that have been there for years, especially obviously Tiger, but anybody that's played there for a few years can probably walk that course with their eyes closed and not hit anything.
Yeah.
Like if you really think
Tiger, he could probably play that course blind.
Yeah.
And shoot even.
I was just gonna say and probably shoot.
Shoots over with his eyes open.
Yeah. Fucking dickhead.
He sucks. He looked high as fuck on the broadcast today.
Oh really?
Yeah.
All fucking strung out.
I could see him liking his weed. Like a lot.
Yeah.
California kid.
Yep.
I could see him really liking his weed.
Oh, it helps with the pain. It's the pain management.
Whatever, man. Who gives a fuck about weed these days?
No. I mean, obviously, I don't.
Did you see the pictures of him at the Super Bowl? No. Did we talk about this?
No.
He was in a box at the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Wearing just like a Nike jacket, gym shorts, and like sneakers. And there's a picture of him with Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen's in like a suit or just like a shirt and tie, and like someone's in a dress, and Tiger's just sitting there in gym shorts.
Hey, what's he doing with Jonathan Allen?
I think he was just in the box.
Oh, yeah.
Like whatever box he was in.
Yeah.
There's some other people.
Like the D tackle for
Yeah.
the Redskins?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the football team?
Yeah. Bigot. You fucking bigot.
Yeah, I know.
You make me fucking sick.
I make myself sick.
I know. Fucking brutal.
Yeah, that is funny. That's just Tiger. I feel like he does whatever the fuck he wants.
He always has. To a fault.
Yes. Yep. But
Or actually, I guess once his father died, because when his father was alive, what his father said went.
right.
I think that's the thing that, like, people always talk about, like, Tiger and his father, Tiger and his father, Tiger and his father. Like, Tiger's father was kind of a dick.
I always kind of imagined it as similar to Tyson and Customato.
I don't know much about that.
I think so. It's obviously a little bit different because D'Amato was, come to find out, he was like kind of a very bad person, and he was super manipulative, and he essentially brainwashed Mike Tyson from childhood, turned him into the greatest fighter ever, arguably, but they had like a very weird relationship where it was like they loved each other, they were like father and son, but at the same time, like, if Cuss told him that he needed to, like, he literally needed to run through a brick wall to be the best boxer ever, Mike Tyson would not stop until he was able to run through the brick wall. It was like that type of deal. I just always kind of imagined it was probably
I guess the only comparison is because his father, I believe, was a Green Beret.
Yeah.
That's how he ran Tiger's life, as though he was a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't think he was bad to him in any way.
Right.
But that's how it was. It wasn't like this, like,
yeah.
oh, good job, son. Like, way to really whack that one.
Right.
No, it's like, let's go.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We're going to hit balls so your hands bleed.
Yeah. Nice shot. See if you can do it again.
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Right. Yeah. I can see that. But hey, look what it turned out to be.
Listen, you don't get to. That's the thing is, like, you don't get to have the happiest childhood, free going, whatever, and be the best. It just doesn't fucking work that way.
It doesn't happen.
It really doesn't fucking work that way.
No. There has to be, in order to be one of the greatest to ever play your sport or anything, like, in order to be one of the greatest of whatever thing it is that you do,
It comes at a cost of something.
there has to be some sort of sacrifice. Whether it's you want to be the most successful businessman ever. Look at Jeff Bezos. How's his home life? How does marriage go?
Went pretty well, I think.
Went really well, right? It only cost him $135 billion. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get to be the top tier of anything without some sort of sacrifice along the way. You know, I would say, oddly enough, the only guy that's kind of really ever pulled it off, as much as I don't like him, is LeBron. LeBron has never really got into any issue that we know of. So we don't, it might be hush-hush, but he's not making the news for, you know,
anything.
cheating on his wife and getting a girl pregnant, getting a stripper pregnant, you know.
Nothing, no drugs,
no
no
drugs,
arrests,
no nothing.
no
He's got
crime.
nothing.
I don't know where he grew up.
Like, because if you look at Jordan, like, Jordan obviously had a gambling problem. Had probably
No. He had a competition.
Yeah, no, you're
It's
correct.
different.
You're correct. I
He can stop gambling.
Yeah.
But he can't stop competing.
Right. Obviously, Tiger has his issues. I mean, all like Brady. If you listen to his bullshit, where he was like, "Oh yeah, me and Giselle almost got a divorce," like whatever. Like like these guys, because you only have so much time. There's only so much time that exists in the world. So if you want to dedicate all that time to being the best at whatever you're doing, well, that means you have less time for other things. So it is what it is there. Like Elon Musk, I think he's been married twice. He's got a new girlfriend now.
Jesus.
Like, you don't, I don't know. Like, it's just, it's a truth. It's just facts, man. Like, it's just how it works.
Well, that's why, like, Gary Vee, I don't know how old his kids are now.
Yeah.
Kids? I don't even know. He might have one.
I know he has at least one.
So he has at least one. I don't know if he has two. Let's just pretend he has one because that's all I can confirm.
Yeah.
He even said, he goes, yeah, the reason I work as hard as I do now, he goes, is at the sacrifice of my son. He goes, I'm not around much right now. Yeah. He goes, but I'm choosing not to be around up to age 7 so that I can be around when he will remember me being around or not.
Right.
Which, that's not necessarily the right way to parent. That's not the wrong way. It's just the way he's going to do it.
Right.
Which
And
there does seem to be something to be said about that.
He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, so.
Yeah.
Has he hit $1 billion?
No. He's actually not worth nearly as much. What do you think he's worth?
I will say $230 million.
It's going to be close to that because I looked. I used to follow a lot of his stuff.
Me too.
And then
I think this is either back to back or 2 out of 3 episodes now where we've talked about Gary Vee.
Yeah.
He's a good follow. If you guys are out there and you're listening on Instagram, it's at Gary V. Like Gary VEE, I think.
He's worth about 200.
Yeah.
And that's so for a guy that's as popular as he is and wants to buy the New York Jets, that's not a lot of money.
No, it's not.
And he has a big media thing. He doesn't really have that much.
Right.
He has a lot.
He's got a lot more than most people.
He does some good things.
Yeah.
Mostly he seems to be willing to help other people. Mostly.
Right.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But 200 million isn't that much.
No. I mean, he's got more wealth than I would say 99% of the world.
Yes. Yes, he does. But he's friends with Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins. What do you think Stephen Ross is worth?
Billions.
Yes.
Yeah.
His franchise alone is worth probably 1 or close to it.
I was going to say 4 or 5.
No, because I think it's
the Patriots are 6.
I don't think they're that high. I think it's the Cowboys are 6. They're the most valuable. Patriots around 3 or 4.
Oh, wow. Is that much of a drop-off?
Yeah, well, it's fucking...
So I thought the Cowboys were 7, and that the Patriots were 5 or 6.
What is it, a valuation? Miami Dolphins valuation?
Yeah. If we can pull it up.
Oh, they're up to 2.9.
Okay, yeah, so they're 3. The Dolphins are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means... Okay, so maybe my numbers are off. My numbers could be old. Oh, no, Cowboys 5.5, Yankees 5, Patriots 4, Lakers 4, Golden State Warriors 4. That is fucking robbery.
Yeah, I got it as of 2020. The page just jumped down. Yeah, so from September of 2020, the Cowboys are 5.7 billion. Patriots are 4.4. Giants are 4.3. The Rams are 4. The 49ers are 3.8. The Jets are 3.5. The Bears are 3.52, and then they're all from there. It just goes right around 3.5 and down. Washington, Philly, Houston. Wow, Houston is the 10th most valuable franchise.
NFL.
3.3 billion. Yeah, in the NFL, just the NFL.
Actually, though, that's not bad. That's probably 23rd.
Yeah.
Out of everything.
Who do you think the least valuable franchise is in the NFL?
Jaguars.
No. It's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Really?
$2 billion. Wow, this is crazy. So Cincinnati comes in at 32 at $2 billion. At 31 at 2.05, Buffalo. Buffalo is the 31st. And then from there, it's Detroit is 2.1. And then you're never going to fucking believe this. Is number 29, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at $2.28 billion. They just won the Super Bowl, and they are the 29th most valuable franchise in the NFL.
Well, that's an old ranking, right? Didn't you say 2020?
Yeah, that's 6 months ago.
Yep.
Well,
That's before they won.
Yeah. But still, they're probably, I can't imagine they're going to jump that much. They're probably still in the 20s.
Well, it's still Tampa. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Don't forget what Tampa is.
Right. Jacksonville is 25th, though. That's pretty crazy. New Orleans, surprisingly, New Orleans is 24th. Kansas City is 23rd.
Yeah, so I think when it comes to valuable franchises, there's a few things that go into value, and it's not how good the franchise is.
Right. It's what else.
How many people are there?
Right, and it's also like what else is there? Like what do they own? Like part of what makes the Red Sox so valuable is they own Fenway Park. A lot of these, and like I think the Crafts own Gillette Stadium.
I think so too.
Because a lot of these franchises, the team doesn't own the stadium that they play at; they lease it. Like the Raiders, the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, well, that's why they left Oakland.
Right.
So if the Crafts own Gillette, that means the Patriots don't own Gillette, right?
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I bet you it's a way just to spin money around.
Yeah.
Because Jerry Jones takes whatever cash he takes,
Right.
and then spends it all to build a stadium.
Right.
So that's out of Jerry Jones's pocket. But then the Cowboys pay rent to the stadium, which is probably its own entity.
like the person that used to run, or still does run the hockey rink. Yeah.
That's all these guys do is they just spin their own money around.
Right. You start a couple different companies, and then this one owns this one owns that one, and then you move your money.
Yeah, and then and even the way you want to do it is like you could have New England Patriots Pro Shop as one LLC. Then you have New England Patriots Stadium as another LLC.
Right.
Then you have New England Patriots Football Team LLC.
Right.
New England Patriots Stadium Parking LLC.
Right, because then the other part too is if the team owns the stadium, they then make the revenue from the naming rights, like the licensing for the name.
Right.
So the Crafts get paid by Gillette, to be called Gillette Stadium, versus someone like the Oakland Raiders when they played at the fucking something Coliseum.
I don't know.
Yeah, it might have just been the Coliseum. Like it might have had
Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah, but like if they called it something, if it was like the Sarcasm Speaks Coliseum, we would pay whoever owns the stadium, not the Oakland Raiders.
Right.
So that I would imagine that goes into it too to make it more valuable.
Yeah, but then I guess theoretically, this is where like all this shit gets so crazy, because you could have Jerry Jones who owns the Dallas Cowboys, who own AT&T Stadium LLC or Dallas Cowboys Stadium LLC,
Right. And then license the name to AT&T.
So that's stadium revenue.
Right.
That LLC gets stadium revenue, which they then move it to like Cowboys Stadium Parking LLC.
Yeah.
So the parking hires their own people. Like it could theoretically all go like that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. These guys aren't billionaires.
Well, no, because you
they know how to run and move money.
you just think about even the scenario I just gave you where Jerry Jones, the football team, the stadium, and the parking are all different LLCs.
Yeah.
If you got hit in that parking lot, you could sue Jerry Jones if it's not structured that way.
Right.
But if it is structured that way, you can only sue the parking.
Dallas Cowboys parking.
That's it.
Yeah.
And please tell me you don't think anyone hasn't thought of that. Because I thought of that in 4 seconds. Think about everything else.
Right. Like I said, these guys are worth billions of dollars for a reason. They're pretty good at business.
Yeah.
The one thing they don't lack in is structuring business, I would say.
Because then there can even be like the security might have its own.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you work for
Cowboy Stadium Security.
Cowboy Stadium Security. You don't work for Jerry Jones.
Right.
So if he walks by and says something fucking lewd to you,
Yeah.
I guess you have to you have to take him to civil court, not employ like workers.
Yeah.
Like HR claim.
Right. Yeah. That's I would be surprised if that's not how it went.
It has to be how it goes.
Yeah.
Because then, like, if a security guard beats the hell out of someone in the stands, you don't want them being able to sue an NFL team.
Right.
You want them to be able to sue the fucking security company.
Right. Yeah, hey. That's how it works. You just push your money through different doors. Different doors in the house.
That's it. That's all these people do.
Yeah. Hey, take that wheelbarrow of cash from the living room and go put it in the dining room.
It's a donation.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that fucking thing we watched? The Netflix thing? Cecil Hotel.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
What was it called? Do you know?
The Cecil Hotel. Or, like, the something about the Cecil Hotel.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get the actual title for you. If you don't want us to spoil it for you, I guess, stop listening now.
Yeah.
Because
It's called Crime Scene: The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah. So if you really plan on watching this thing, it sucks.
So the first, like the top story when you type that in on Google, the first thing that comes up is an article from CNET, and the title says, Netflix's Cecil Hotel documentary is a bloated, dangerous mess. That is so accurate.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
Yeah.
Did you watch Night Stalker?
No.
Okay, you should. And for everyone else, you guys should watch Night Stalker.
Personally, going into it, I was skeptical to begin with because I'm not a big like murder mystery guy.
Okay, you don't have to be.
It's fine. Just in general, like, because we all know people who shit their pants over like the Ted Bundy story and fucking Jim Jones, and like for some reason like people love serial killers and like crimes and mysteries and Black Dahlia and Jack the Ripper and all this. Like every fucking serial killer has like multiple documentaries about them.
Yeah.
Those just don't do it for me. I don't know what it is, but like they just don't do it for me.
Yeah, so typically I don't really care. Typically whatever. Michaela does love that stuff.
Yeah, most people do.
Yeah,
you know what's funny about it is most of it is females. There's like an actual statistic where females are more apt to enjoy like serial killer shit than males are.
It's interesting. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Dr. J, if you're listening,
Yeah.
let us know. But Night Stalker was actually interesting, and it didn't have me at the beginning. Like I wasn't really paying attention at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think I fell asleep for a little bit too. But it caught me. It caught me at some point. So with this. So they start on Skid Row, and I don't know anything about Skid Row. I thought it was a band from the fucking 80s. You'd Gone Wild. Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about Skid Row. So they're talking about Skid Row. I go, oh fuck, LA is a shithole. All right.
Yeah.
Obviously I know it's Hollywood Hills, whatever. Right. Riviera, but I'm like, oh, so LA sucks. That's right. I already fucking knew that.
Right.
And like they do in Skid Row, and then like, there's this hotel in Skid Row, and I'm like, that seems fucking weird.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like moderately interested in like the Skid Row, this hotel, and then it's like a hotel, but it has like
it's a residence.
Yeah, and it had like so we would guess equate it to Section 8 housing in a way.
It is now currently. But the way it was prior to the sale in 2017 was it was like low
Low-income housing?
No, low charge or like low rent, long-term residence. So like you could stay there for $8 a night.
Oh, okay, I thought the homeless people had to come to. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. No, there was no like legal like regulations. Like Section 8 is like a legal thing that says like you have to allow these people to live here. That was just that was just the way the hotel was. So
okay.
They just allowed.
And people like so the actual residents paid for it, not the government.
Yeah,
okay.
They allowed.
So I thought it was a way to get. I thought it was a way to get homeless people off the road.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so if the government was paying for it, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, in one way or another, they probably were. In some roundabout way.
Yeah, but real nice strategy. You take people who have no money.
Right.
You're like, oh well. See that hotel right there that you're like
You can
taking
stay
a dump
there
next
for
to?
$8 a night.
Yeah, and it's like, cool, man. I don't have $8.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
So it starts with that. Then I fell asleep, so you're gonna have to kind of take it from here.
So they go through the history of the Cecil Hotel, and they talk about how once upon a time it was like a luxury hotel in downtown LA, and then the Depression hit. And when the Depression came, it kind of fucked up the whole area, and that's how Skid Row kind of was born. And then they talk about it's a popular destination for travelers and like young people. However, the people that travel and come in and stay there don't realize that it's right on the edge of Skid Row, which I also didn't know that Skid Row was a 56 block radius.
That's fucking huge, dude.
Honest to God, I thought Skid Row was one really long street
Like Methadone Mile?
in LA. Yes, like Methadone Mile in Boston,
Yeah.
over by the fucking hospital. I thought it was that, but it was like a 1.5 mile long street where like all the homeless people lived. I didn't know.
56 blocks is fucking
That's huge.
huge.
That's huge. That's like
a borough.
I was gonna say that's gonna be bigger than like the financial district. That's almost like as big as all of the North End.
Yeah,
Boston.
are there even 56 blocks in the North End?
Probably not.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's wild too. Like 56 block radius, and I was like, holy shit. So anyway, they talk about how like travelers pop in there because it's cheap, and a lot of times when you book some travel websites like will book blind. And it'll be like, you can stay at this hotel in LA for 4 days for $65. And you're like, wow, I can go to LA for 4 days for $65? Fuck yeah, sign me up. Well, then you show up and you're right in the middle of Skid Row. So
Yeah.
I would imagine it's people with no common sense to be like, because
Yeah.
if I looked at that, if I'm looking to travel to LA, which I never would because I fucking hate that. I was in San Diego and decided not to go to LA because I just didn't want to be there. And if I wanted to go there and I was like, I'm going for a week and they're only going to charge me $100, I probably don't want to stay there.
Yeah, how bad is that place?
I probably want to pay the extra fucking $600 and stay somewhere where it's going to cost me $700 for a week so I don't get fucking stabbed. So yeah, the whole first episode I think was just about the Cecil Hotel, and then the second episode, or like the end of the first episode, and then all of the second episode was about this girl that traveled to LA from Vancouver, Canada. And it talks about how she was like all over Tumblr, and she had this whole like very public like social media, whatever, like all this shit. And they don't really tell you a ton to start. And then all of a sudden, by like the end of the second episode, she goes missing. So they're like, don't know where she is. So I think at the end of the second episode, I turned and I looked at the rest of everyone in the room and I go, this is starting to remind me of Don't Fuck with Cats,
Yep.
which was that weird Netflix crime movie that was big like a year ago or a year plus ago. And I was like, I feel like shit's about to get weird, and these next 2 episodes are going to be super fucking crazy. Like, it's just going to get weird, because that's what happened with Don't Fuck with Cats. The first 2 episodes were like talking about something, and then they took like a weird hard left turn, and then all of a sudden it was like fucking wild, and I was like, what are we watching?
Yeah.
And it wasn't to the same extreme as Don't Fuck with Cats.
But it was the same idea.
But it was the same exact idea. The last 2 episodes of the 4 were just, what the fuck am I watching? Like, this is dumb. They go into like her disappearance, and they did again like the previous Don't Fuck with Cats. They talk about like web sleuths,
Yeah,
which I can't believe that's a real thing.
They're breaking down the fucking video. They're like Belichick with the fucking telestrator.
Yeah. They're like, look at the way she moves her hands. Yeah. So I love it too, because by the end of the series, at the end of the 4th episode, you get the actual answers. So like the LAPD is like, well, you know, there's certain reasons why we don't release all information to the public, and you know, we have to blur out the the timestamp of the elevator footage and like all this stuff. And like by the end of it, you find out that like there's reasons for everything. But the episode prior with these web sleuths, they're like, yeah, if you watch the video, you can see that the timestamp on the elevator is blurred, and then the time moves fast, and then it slows down. So the video speed is changing. Someone doctored the video. They're hiding something. And then, like I said, by the end, you find out that there's reasons why people do that. Like they said, media outlets will slow down certain parts of videos when they release it because it has the person's face.
Yeah.
And it's a longer time for someone to recognize the face.
Yep.
So it's like, by the end of it, you're like, oh, this all makes complete sense. You guys are just fucking morons. Like, there's a reason why you're not a cop. Why you sit at your computer and you play cop.
Why the dentist student that was between jobs is like heading this thing and didn't crack the crime.
Yeah, no.
Dude, you can fucking put a crown in my mouth, but you're not fucking solving a murder case.
Yeah.
Or not even a murder case, a death.
It was just a death. They thought it was a murder. They were convinced that some fucking guy, some guy from a metal band, like killed her.
Yeah.
And it's like, they completely ruined this guy's career.
Yeah.
And he tried to commit suicide.
Was it you or Michaela that said it would have been a much more interesting documentary if it was just about that guy?
Nah, that was Michaela.
Okay. If it was just about him, because they could introduce it.
Right.
Hey, this is the deal with the hotel. This is the history of the hotel. This is what happened to this girl.
Right.
This is what a bunch of fucking idiots on the fucking internet then did to this guy.
Right.
Here he is now.
Right. Like, he can't even make music anymore. Like, he's a fucking broken person. Like, people, like, attacked him. And the same thing happened on Don't Fuck With Cats, too. Remember, I don't remember the details, but they thought they had some guy as the person that did it, and they fucking berated him and cyberbullied him, because it is what it is. They cyberbullied him, and then turns out it was the wrong guy.
And no one gets held responsible.
And no one's held responsible. And the same exact fucking thing happened with this, where they cyberbullied this guy because he's into Swedish death metal and he makes scary music and he paints his face in a scary way.
Gonna argue one level of semantics because I feel very strongly about this.
Black metal.
Never listen to Norwegian black metal.
Yeah.
And that's what this guy was fucking with.
Right.
Never listen to Norwegian black metal. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
The guys are too fucking hardcore. Like, they're so hardcore, but they're not because Mayhem exists. The band Mayhem, where one guy killed another guy and then the other guy killed him, and
Right.
the whole fucking thing, and wearing their fucking shit as jewelry, like their fucking skull. Like, you're not fucking hard.
Yeah.
You're not fucking hard. You're not fucking evil. You're not fucking tough.
Right.
Even Gaul, the fucking Satanist that likes to burn down churches. I mean, he's a homosexual. I feel like if you're a Satanist, you're not allowed to do that either. Or I don't know. Maybe it's encouraged. I really don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of Satan. So
Yeah.
someone else would have to fill me in. So that's why you don't fucking fuck with Norwegian black metal. But
Yeah.
she said it would have been much more interesting just to fucking highlight this guy.
It would have, actually.
Because these are my big gripes with the documentary that we watched. Was one, the takeaway I took is web sleuths are idiots, but that doesn't really seem to be the conclusion they drew. They leave it for you to draw, which is what I did.
Yeah.
Then
Imagine thinking that you're better than the LAPD or like any police department.
yeah, well, defund the police, man.
Well, yeah, all cops are bad.
Yeah, people on the internet. Yeah, fuck,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Not doing this.
Oh, we don't need cops. We have people on the internet because they're really good at it. And now I'm sure there are times where like they do get shit right, but like, what's the real percentage of that?
Yeah, but if they
What
get
are they-
shit right, the cops probably already got it right.
Yeah, no, that's
But there's
true.
a reason why.
Cops have all of the information. You idiots on the internet maybe have half.
Never
at
mind.
most.
Yeah, they have all the facts of the case plus experience and skills.
Right, because then they brought in like the medical examiner, and like the medical examiner is like, well, we do a toxicology report, we do this report, we do that, we do this, and he's outlining everything, and he goes, it takes time. And then they cut to one of the web sleuths, and they were like, well, they found the body and it was 3 months before we got anything released. They're hiding something. The LAPD is in on this. They're responsible. And it's like, what? How can you say that? You don't work for the coroner.
It's gotta be really fucking hard to do an autopsy off someone that was found in a fucking water tank
that was there for 19 days.
and you don't know why.
Yeah. And then, like, literally, like, so through the whole, like, second half of the docuseries, it's these web sleuths being like, they're conspiracy theorists, what it comes down to. Like, they're hardcore conspiracy people. They're like, she was murdered. She was put in the water tank. There was no way she could have went in there and closed the door over her. She couldn't reach and all this. And, like, come to find out, like, it was a simple misunderstanding because they kept playing this one clip of some sergeant in the LAPD that said, well, it was my understanding when the officers arrived that the door to the water tank was shut. So then all these web sleuths are like, there's a conspiracy. So she was murdered. She was put there. She couldn't be put in and close the door and all this. And then you go back and read the actual affidavit of the maintenance worker that found her, and it literally says in there, he arrived and the door was open to the water tank. So, and I turned at that point during the documentary and I go, weird. The guy that wasn't there got it wrong. Like, it was just like the sergeant that was reporting to the media, who probably, like, wasn't really that involved with the case. He was just the dickhead that pulled the short straw that had to go talk to the reporters. So he was just like, yeah, I think that the door was shut when they got there. I don't know. And then everyone ran with it.
Yeah.
And then the best part, I'm kind of getting at here, is by the end of it, they were like, yeah, the actual affidavit of the maintenance guy that found her said the door was open, and then they pulled back the medical examiner, and he was like, yeah, there's a reason, like, there's probably a reason why she took her clothes off. It's either creates more drag and makes you heavy and pulls you in the water, or if she was alive long enough in there, people go through hypothermia, and one of the stages of hypothermia is your body changes and you feel really hot. So that's why people that die in the frozen worlds, like, are always found naked because they feel like they're hot, but you're really going through a stage of hypothermia. And they go through all this, and then they pull all the web sleuths back at the end. By the end of it, once you get the real information, they were like, yeah, it's really just so sad. It turns out she really did just she did have some mental issues, and she just, made a mistake and ended up in that water tank. She was having a psychotic episode. Whereas it was 4 hours. It's 4 1-hour episodes. Whereas the majority of this 4 fucking hours, these web sleuths are like, the LAPD's in on it. The hotel's in on it. They're covering it up. Someone did this. Someone did that. Like, and then by the end, they're like, yeah, it was just really sad that she had mental health issues and, she ended up doing that and all this. Like,
fuck you.
You guys are fucking idiots.
Fuck you.
There's a reason, like I said, there's a reason why you're not a cop. Don't try and play one on the internet.
You know what else I loved about it, too? Was they drew a comparison to, like, what would be a copycat murder from that movie with John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Which happened in Don't Fuck With Cats, except it actually did happen that way.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
So, like, they drew that comparison for no reason.
Yeah. They were like, yeah. Also, come on. How many movies have been made in the history of time? Like, or since 1900? Because that's really when movies probably started.
I will say, coincidence.
Right.
That one was actually pretty close.
I mean, it's a little girl wearing a red jacket. How many people wear red jackets? Like, I don't know. It's a lot of really weird shit.
I'm just like red jacket, elevator.
Yeah.
Immediately into the water tank. I'm like, I don't know, man. That's like, because the circumstances of this woman's death are fucking crazy.
Right.
They're real crazy. And
right.
She had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
It's crazy that she went to the point of climbing on the roof and getting in a water tank.
Yeah.
And it's also crazy that the circumstances of her match this movie.
Yeah.
It's not like she jumped out of a building.
No.
That's easy to find.
Right. But it's almost like the Simpsons effect, where like it's the what I always kind of equate the Simpsons effect to and stuff like that is the old what's that stupid fucking cliche where it's like, if you give enough chimpanzees typewriters, eventually one of them's going to pen William Shakespeare, exactly how it goes. So that's kind of what I was getting at, is like, how many movies have been made since 1900? Like, millions. It has to have been millions. Like, I don't know. I would like to say that there's probably a movie out there that would depict just about anything.
Yeah, I will say, I guess if we find out that some kid in a barn down south gets cut in half with a machete,
yeah,
it's probably safe to say that he's not going to be the next Dewey Cox.
He probably not. Well, like, I don't know. I always look at stuff like that, and it's like, if you make enough material, eventually you're gonna hit on some stuff.
Although a guy with COVID who loses his sense of smell and then cuts his brother in half, Dewey Cox.
Yeah, it could be. It could be
Possible.
Yeah, Dewey Cox predicted the future. So yeah, I mean, there are some weird coincidences like that too. But like I said, there's always a way to explain it.
But with that, they drew these comparisons to this movie, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, actually, she was just dealing with severe mental issues. It's like,
yeah. She was unmedicated bipolar 1, which is like the most severe bipolar that you could be. That they had like this actual clinical psychologist on, who I knew who she was because she's been on Joe Rogan before, the Judy Ho. Yeah. She's pretty good. She's very, very, very intelligent. But she was like, yeah, bipolar 1 disorder is probably the most severe, like one of the most severe things you can have, because it can include it was psychosomatic breaks or psychotic breaks, where like you can actually hear voices, which people typically which people typically identify with schizophrenia. So bipolar, in a severe case of bipolar 1, you could make the argument it's worse than schizophrenia, because you have the mania and the depression of bipolar, plus some of the bad parts of schizophrenia too. So it's like, left unchecked, like that can get pretty bad. And wouldn't you know, that girl had that. But then that was the other thing too. They waited until the end, I think the last episode, when they talked about when they interviewed the girl's sister. I mean, and the girl's sister was like, yeah, she had a history of not taking her meds, and when she did that, she had some pretty bad episodes. You know, she'd been hospitalized before. And it's like, you guys just dick me along for 4 hours.
Yep.
On this stupid fucking thing.
It's a nice 4-hour dicking.
Like that whole, it was a 4-hour dicking that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
You just forcefully dicked me down for 4 hours.
I was dicked for 4 hours and fucking anticlimactic.
Like, that whole thing could have been done in 90 minutes. And
no, you needed to write a different story. That's what you needed to do. You needed to write a different story.
Yeah. It was just dumb. I didn't like it. Don't watch it.
Don't bother.
Don't bother. Don't waste your time. So, we're still wrapping this up?
We can wrap this up.
All right. What do you got?
People still want iPods.
Yeah, man.
I was just gonna dump mine in bleach and throw it out, and then you were like, "Oh no, dude, look it up on eBay," and it's like, you're like, they're selling between $30-$80.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck do you want an iPod?
I have no idea.
And why would you pay almost $80 for one?
Honestly, I could not tell you. But what is yours at right now? What'd you list it at?
38 is where it started.
Okay.
That's 50.
You get bids? Whoa! You're already up to 50?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I wish I still had my iPod.
Well, I'm just like, why? Because it's a 6th generation. So if you had a 1st generation, I can see that being like a collector thing.
Yeah.
If you had it new in box, I can see that too.
Right.
Like, why? Like literally a 6th generation has one function, and it's to play music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like were they that good? That, like, for music playing, that people want them?
I don't know. Unless, like...
Because you can't use wireless headphones on them.
But even still, now that I'm thinking, because I was going to say if people don't want to take up storage on their phones, but the way phones are now, like today, like
You just stream music.
you can, well, yeah, and then you can also get a phone that's like 128 gigs is like the standard now, where it used to be like 32, 64, and then 128 was like you're paying like mega stupid prices for it.
Yeah.
But now like the lowest one is 128, and you can get like 256 and like even more. So it's like what I don't know. It's just
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
And it's like I did see some people like, oh, it's collector's items. I'm like, the 6th generation is not fucking collector. Sorry.
Right.
Trust me, I got Greg Olson rookie cards that won't sell.
Yeah. Also, too, like we've talked about before, like the whole like collectors thing, like has to be supply and demand, which is the fallacy behind Beanie Babies. Because everyone bought Beanie Babies when we were a kid, and they're like, oh, someday they're going to be worth so much money. Well, that someday is not now.
No,
Because the supply was so high that they made, like, things become valuable when there's not a lot of them that exist. When you make a fuck ton of Beanie Babies, they're not valuable because a fuck ton of them exist. When you only make 5,000 of something, they're going to be more valuable. But then, if you only make 5,000 of something and then 25 years later, you go and try and sell it, maybe there's only 3,000 of those left in existence because 2,000 have either been thrown out, broken, disappeared. You know what I mean? So now you're working of one of 3,000 in existence. So now the value is even more. But when you start with a fuck ton, and now you go to like a slightly lesser fuck ton, let's call it a shit ton. So we started with a fuck ton of Beanie Babies. Now we're at a shit ton of Beanie Babies. They're still not worth anything.
And what's interesting about that, though, is especially Beanie Babies, because we were told in 1998 that they were going to be valuable.
Yeah.
You have to keep them in good shape. You have to keep the tags on. Mm-hmm. Oh, these are going to be valuable. Keep the tags.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what else came out about 1998?
Pokemon cards?
Yep. And what did we used to do with them?
Rip them, throw
Battle them, throw them, carry them, travel.
spit on them.
Put them in the plastic, like the plastic things in the binders. Yeah, those were great because when you go in and out, it fucks the card up. Yep. So around the same time period, and I think Beanie Babies were like a couple of years earlier, we were told, oh, these things are going to be worth something. Keep them in good shape.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yet, with the Pokemon cards, we just played with them.
Yeah.
And guess what is super valuable right now?
Pokemon cards.
Very valuable.
You know what sucks is I sold my entire binder of Pokemon cards when I was in college for like $200. I had hundreds upon hundreds of cards, and I had some like rare ones, some crazy ones, and obviously I was in college and I was like, I just need money, and I didn't think of selling them like individually because I didn't want to deal with that bullshit at the time because I was like 18, 19 years old. I just needed cash, so I sold the whole thing for $200 on eBay. And now looking back on it, I'm like, oh, that was so dumb. But
Mine didn't even make it that long.
yeah,
I had them, but now in fairness, I didn't have any like Charizard holograms or anything, but
yeah, I had 2 of those.
do not look up the prices of those.
I'm not.
Do not do it.
No, I know. I'm just gonna get mad.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm emphasizing to you. Do not look it up.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I will not. But yeah, so back to your original point about the iPods, is I feel like it's similar to the Beanie Baby situation where they made a fuck ton of iPods, and now there's still probably a fuck ton of iPods that exist.
So my only counter to it is no one knew iPods were going to be like collector's items.
Yeah.
So it's like, how many iPods have you had in your life?
Probably like 4.
How many do you still have?
0.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like they either got used up, they broke, destroyed, thrown out, lost, you name it.
Yeah.
So it's the things that are accidentally collectible.
Yeah.
because it that's what it is. It's things that get destroyed.
Right.
Things that aren't supposed to be around. Anything that's like supposed to be a collector's item isn't really that much of a collector's item.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason whatever it is going to grow in value potentially, in which case you're gambling.
Yeah. Fuck, man, that Charizard's like $1,500, isn't it?
I'm not telling you. You're gonna look it up, aren't you?
No, I'm just gonna get mad.
Don't do it.
Is it more than 1,500?
Well, I don't know. Okay, put it to you this way: if you have one that's graded,
Yeah,
we're talking.
Well, I mean, none of mine were.
And
graded.
I know. So yours
and
were.
I'm not gonna say because it also costs money to get them graded.
Yeah. So. Hey, it does. But your graded cards wouldn't meet this criteria,
Right.
right? Because you use them and collect like whatever.
It'd probably be
We're
somewhere.
talking like $300,000 for
my God.
graded.
Oh my God.
But that's graded.
Right. Well, mine weren't graded, and if I did get them graded, they'd probably be like a 7.
No, they wouldn't. Because 7's still good.
Okay.
They'd be like a 5.
Okay. That's fair.
Which means you paid $20 to get a nice case for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna look it up.
No, I mean you just told me they're like $300,000
For grade, but I'm talking
right,
graded, not
right.
not raw.
Yeah.
Or not raw, like used from someone. Because that's the other thing too, is like with some of these cards, especially now, and that's why like any cards that I buy, I'm gambling on the value going up.
Right.
I'm not gambling on the fact, oh, this is gonna be worth something someday. It's like, well, that's because of the player's perperformance.
Right.
It's not like I'm grabbing. I don't even fucking know. Like, what would people
This
even
green
buy now?
bunny.
I'm trying to even like think. Like, what would people even buy now? Like Apple. Like, here's the thing. Like Apple, that's a name.
Right.
People love the name Apple. No one's buying a Motorola G6, even though it's like a Google-powered thing.
Yeah.
No one's buying that. It's not Apple.
Right.
It's not the iPod.
Yeah.
Like, people call these things by their name. So it's like, it has to be something that like is normal. Like normal people have them.
Right.
They have to have like been significant in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like if you had one of those colored Mac PCs.
Oh yeah.
I don't. Was it the
day.
iMac or something? I don't.
I
even
think
know.
so. Yeah, just Macintosh maybe back then. Maybe
I think
it was the iMac. Maybe it was the original iMac.
maybe something like that.
Yeah.
That's probably worth some money because they're weird.
Yep.
They're outdated. People probably just kind of threw them out.
Yeah.
But they're Apple, and they were the first. And it's like, dude, this is so weird. It's fucking green.
Yeah.
That's the shit that people care about.
Yeah.
So, it just blows my mind that like a 6th gen iPod people still want, because that is like so fucking run of the mill.
Right. I wonder what a 1st gen is. Did you look it up?
So if you have like
Like the click wheel one?
some of the 1st gen stuff in the box,
Yeah.
5 figures.
Wow.
But that's new in the box.
Right.
You're probably talking 4 figures if you have an original.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is it's collectors. I'm not certain that a 6th gen iPod isn't for personal use.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair too. I had one of the iPods that had the 4 buttons on the top. I think that might be the original.
Could be.
The circle thing like didn't really do anything. Like it wasn't like clickable. But the 4 buttons were at the top below the screen.
I don't remember because, again, I haven't been much of an Apple guy.
Yeah. Let me see. iPod with 4 buttons. Yep, this one. What do you know? iPod Classic. Oh, it was the 3rd generation.
I don't even remember seeing that.
Yeah, that's one of
With the
those,
buttons.
One of those that I had. I love Google. You just type in iPod with 4 buttons, and that's what pops up. That's going for $50 on eBay right now. This Apple iPod 60 gig players collectors, it's listed for $5,000. 2001. Oh, it's a 2001 Windows format on an iPod.
Yeah, that's weird. So I'm seeing that's 1st gen iPod.
Yeah.
That's going for like $300.
Yeah.
I think you need it in the box. Because like an iPod Nano 4th generation, that's like 120. That's nothing.
Yeah. All right. What is my final thought? My final thought is a question. What is something that you will only buy name brand of?
Ooh, I will only buy name brand. See,
Yeah.
I saw this in there and I thought I misread it to like something like you call name brand.
Oh, yeah, no.
Shit, okay.
So I'll go first to give you a little bit of time. For me, personally, it's toilet paper. I will only buy name brand toilet paper because I respect my asshole.
I don't respect my asshole.
And I want nice, soft Charmin Ultra. You know, nice, real good. It's also pretty effective, like efficient. We don't need a lot. Like 2 squares really goes a long way. You know, you don't need more than 2 or 3 squares at a time because that it's ultra strong. Charmin Ultra Strong. It works. So I feel like it also lasts longer because obviously you need less of it. And that is my big thing. It is toilet paper is what I will only buy name brand. Everything else, I don't really give a shit.
I don't know if because I don't give a fuck about toilet paper because the shit at work is the fucking worst. It may as well be sandpaper. Fucking 120 grit. I don't know if there's anything that I will only buy name brand of.
Is there something you have, like a particular brand where you only buy? Like a barbecue sauce or like olive oil? I'm literally looking at the kitchen of like what would be in certain places.
Well, no, because like olive oil, I just get what's cheap.
Yeah.
I am trying to think.
I will say I am actually pretty brand loyal.
I'm not at all. I just buy the cheapest shit there is.
There are certain things, so like it's not like I won't buy anything that's like generic brand, but if I find a brand that I like, I stick with. Like I always buy the same olive oil. I always buy the same hot sauce, Cholula hot sauce. Like I always buy Filippo Barrio extra virgin olive oil. I always buy Stubbs barbecue sauce, mostly because I think Stubbs is just the best anyway. But like I am pretty brand loyal when it comes to shit like that, but
yeah, so I'm only going to be brand loyal when I think something is better than something else.
yeah.
All right, so I guess an easy one. I don't buy hummus often, but I tend to not like Tribe.
Okay.
I tend to like Sabra better.
Yeah, Sabra is pretty solid.
And then Joseph's is hit or miss sometimes. But like that's the thing is like, so I guess if I'm buying hummus, I like Sabra the best, so that's what I would prefer. But sometimes Joseph's has something fucked up in there that I want to get.
Yeah. Yeah, they have like weird flavors. You're like, oh, that sounds interesting.
No, because I'm of the sense that I'm convinced that the stuff isn't different. Because back in the day, you could pull like say you took like Stop and Shop brand barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
You could look at where it came from.
Well, it's the same. A lot of the generic stuff is made in the same factory.
That's what I mean. So like you could,
Yeah.
and I forget what it used to be, or you could look at the bottle and it's like,
Yeah.
because they might be like 2 from Stop and Shop, or like 1 is like Nature's Promise.
Right.
You just look at where it came from, and it's the same thing.
Right.
And I'm convinced of that.
Yeah.
Like same thing with like ibuprofen, doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, like
Especially
when-
ibuprofen's the best example because it says on it,
Right.
comparable to Aleve, comparable to
Right.
Tylenol,
I
comparable
don't
to
I don't buy Aleve, like name brand Aleve.
No.
I buy whatever store I'm in, their generic brand sodium naproxen.
yeah, medicine. I always buy generic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that. Because even like tomatoes that I cook with.
Yeah.
If I'm making pizza sauce, it's Pastene.
Yep.
If I'm making sauce, it's I think it's Cento because they have the San Marzano tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's not like $8 a can.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think there's anything that I'm brand agnostic about.
Yeah, I'm literally just like looking at our closet. Like tinfoil doesn't really matter.
Nope, cheap.
I don't care.
Soap is whatever's cheap.
Soap doesn't matter.
I mean, I tend to buy, when I'm buying body soap, I tend to buy Irish Spring just because I just buy that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's best. It seems pretty reasonable.
I
buy the same deodorant all the time.
Yeah, I've been wearing Old Spice Swagger for fucking 15 years.
But that's just preference. But like there isn't one thing I look at and go, oh well, I'll get this because it's better or something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd probably be right there with you. Like I said, except for toilet paper.
No, and then there's certain things
outside of, like you said, like there's things that I
don't like the taste.
Like
of,
I only buy Cholula hot sauce because I think it's better than Frank's.
Yeah, but it's not
the alternative.
Yes, it's not like that like outside of personal preference, because the rest of the shit I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Like trash bags doesn't matter.
No, I especially look at things that are disposable.
Yeah.
I am not buying a fucking brand of.
No.
Trash bags, don't care. They're trash. They are literally trash.
Literally going in the trash, yeah.
Like dish things for the dishwasher.
Yeah.
They're either going to make my dishes clean or not. And we all have this level of trust with the dishwasher.
Yeah.
That it works.
Right.
Everyone out there has this level of trust with your dishwasher.
Yep.
It is probably, you trust your dishwasher more than you trust probably anything else in the world.
Probably.
Because you trust that what you put in there comes out clean and not just like
washed.
Clean.
Not just like water rinsed on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'll never know the difference.
Nope.
So, cheapest shit I can put in there.
Yeah. I know.
Hand soap, dish soap. Olive oil, I just buy whatever's cheap again. But if but then again, in fairness, if I did find one that I thought tasted like shit or burnt too fast or something like that, I'll never buy it again.
Right.
But there's nothing like I'm so agnostic about outside of, I know you're talking like grocery items and shit. I'm like, my golf clubs.
Yeah.
Like I buy the same ball. But that's because it performs well for it. Like it's not like a
right. I think that's a personal preference thing. It is tough to decipher. Like
you would have to. Toilet paper is a good example because you can buy store brand toilet paper in different. What do you buy, Charmin?
Yeah.
You could find a store brand that would be comparable, but you would know the difference.
Yeah.
Because, like, the shit I buy for down here is comparable to Scott's.
Right.
And everyone knows Scott's is, like, thin, bigger rolls, whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's just, again, the shit I have at work is just the worst. But it would be like people who only buy Kleenex, not just tissues.
Not Market Basket.
People who only buy Lysol wipes, not store brand.
Right.
Oh, I buy Windex, not glass cleaner.
People that only buy, I'm trying to think, I don't even know, like Hillshire Farms instead of store brand
ground turkey, whatever.
Yeah,
you would have to, that's what it would have to be like.
Yeah. Or like Purdue chicken versus Market Basket chicken or Stop and Shop chicken.
I buy NyQuil, not store brand nighttime cold medicine.
Yeah. Fucks you up the same way.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
When it says comparable to the ingredients in NyQuil, it is NyQuil.
It is NyQuil, yeah. Yeah, it's always funny too, and like some of them are made in the same factory when the bottles are the same shape. Like literally everything about them is the same except for the label.
They are the same.
Yeah.
There's just something with medicine why generic.
Yeah.
They don't have to really hide it.
Yeah.
But you can see that too. It's like sometimes you'll see a bottle of barbecue sauce and like that looks an awful lot like Sweet Baby Ray's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you think it came from?
Right. It's the same fucking factory. Yeah, because other than that, there's really nothing else that's like store brand stuff that you also buy frequently too. Because you could get into like Tupperware Now I'm like running down the aisles in my brain of like all the
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I don't
like
know.
cleaning products really doesn't matter either.
Yeah, I mean, I buy coffee by preference because that's the hard thing to delineate is what is by preference, because there is some things like I don't like the taste of.
Right.
So if I'm gonna buy Dijon mustard, I like French's best.
Yeah. Is that Grey Poupon?
Grey Poupon's fine. I feel like a fucking douchebag.
Do you remember those old commercials? Do you have any Grey Poupon?
Yeah. I feel like a fucking idiot buying that, so I don't.
Yeah.
Also, I like French's best, and it's like the store brand. Yeah, it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get it.
Yeah.
If it tasted the same, I wouldn't care.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. That's my final thought. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Make sure you click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Hopefully the YouTube video actually worked today. Hopefully I don't find out that the file was corrupted again. Otherwise, we're probably going to have to go buy a new SD card. Thank you to mybookie.com. Use our promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up for MyBookie, and they will match your deposit for up to 50% of $1,000. And then they'll also toss in a $20 free play in there too. So that's SarcasmPod on mybookie.com. You can find us on Instagram at SarcasmSpeaksPod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. And click subscribe, share, all that fun, happy horse shit wherever you're listening as well, if you're on the audio only version. So until next time, good night, everybody.